Hello friends, welcome to my today's presentation on fuel. So today I will brief about the important properties of the fuel and heat content. We have three different types of fuels: solid, liquid and gases. Fuels can be compared on the basis of properties. As the application or the utility of any type of fuel depends on its properties, and the properties depends on chemical composition. So these are the listed properties for ideal fuel. So property number 1 is the high CV, calorific value, that is heat content. Total heat content of fuel is known as calorific value. The efficiency, or we can say use, of any type of fuel depends on heat content, and the heat content is related to the percentage of carbon. Fossil fuels mainly contains carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur along with small amount of ash. So carbon is the key element present in fossil fuels. It is the most important elements used for the heat production. So ideally the heat content or the CV of fuel should be high, and that CV is depends on percentage of carbon. Higher the percentage of carbon, high will be the CV value. So why the heat content and percentage of carbon is important? So if we discuss about the market value or the commercial value of any type of fuel, then market value and the commercial value depends on quality, and quality means properties. Okay, so the properties of any fuel depends on chemical composition, and utility or the use of any type of fuel depends on properties. Once we get the chemical composition, we can decide quality, and once we get the quality, we can decide its price or market value. So ideally a fuel sample should have high percentage of carbon content and high heat content, that is CV content. Second important property is the velocity of combustion. Velocity of combustion means speed of combustion, rate of combustion. So combustion is the oxidation of fuel at high temperature. So this is one type of chemical reaction. So that reaction has its own speed. The speed with which combustion of fuel takes place, that speed is called as velocity of combustion. The speed of combustion of fuel should be moderate and controllable. So in case of liquid and gaseous fuel, combustion takes place rapidly. So it can be controlled and stopped when needed. Third important property of ideal fuel is ignition temperature. Ignition means burning temperature. So we can define ignition temperature as the temperature at which combustion of fuel starts. The ignition temperature should be moderate for all types of fuel. It should not be high or it should not be low. Next, the products of combustion. Here, if we see the chemical composition of fossil fuels, mainly they contains carbon and hydrogen. Along with carbon and hydrogen, nitrogen, sulfur, oxygen elements are present. So after the combustion, carbon get converted into carbon dioxide, hydrogen get converted into water vapors, sulfur get converted into sulfur dioxide, sulfur trioxide, nitrogen get converted into nitrogen dioxide, nitrogen trioxide. So these are called as gaseous products, combustion products. So among all these gaseous products, sulfur containing gases and nitrogen containing gases are called as byproducts, and their nature is toxic. They pollute environment. So product of the combustion should be non-toxic, harmless and non-polluting. It means product of the combustion should not pollute the atmosphere. This is possible in case of solid and liquid fuels because they contain trace amount of nitrogen and sulfur elements. Next property is the transportation. The transportation of fuel from one place to another place should be easy, and it requires small space for storage. The transportation should be risk free. The next is the availability or the cost. we can say cost. So the fuel sample should be easily available at low cost. The cost of the fuel sample should be low. Next, air requirement, that is oxygen requirement for combustion. Here in case of solid, liquid and gaseous fuel, we can calculate the amount of air, that is amount of the oxygen required for the complete combustion of fuel. If we know the chemical composition, we can calculate amount of oxygen on the basis of chemical reactions. Next, important properties related to moisture content, volatile matter content and ash content. Ash is the product of combustion. After the combustion, we get ash. So ash is non-combustible matter. We get ash only in case of solid fuels. Here, if we think about the chemical composition of fossil fuels, they contain carbon, hydrogen elements as a major elements. Along with carbon, hydrogen, they may contain nitrogen, sulfur, ash, water and volatile matter. So if we decide the quality of fuel, the percentage of moisture, volatile matter and ash should be low. If fuel contains high percentage of water, then the heat energy provided for the combustion will be utilized for the water evaporation. Same thing is about volatile matter. The volatile matter content for fuel should be minimum. The volatile matters are nothing but the products or the compounds or the substances formed due to the thermal decomposition of fuel. They reduces the CV content of fuel. So overall, the percentage of moisture, volatile matter and ash should be less. So this is about the important characteristics, or we can say that properties of the fuel sample. The commercial importance or the commercial value of fuel depends on all these properties. Heat content, that is CV content, is the most important properties. So next we will move towards the CV, calorific value, as the efficiency of fuel depends on its CV value, heat content. So in one line we can define CV as the total quantity of heat produced after complete combustion of fuel sample. So we have two types of CVs, gross calorific value, that is GCV, or higher calorific value, that is HCV, and second type is net calorific value, NCV, or lower calorific value, that is LCV. So the table given below the types indicates units of calorific value. So we have three systems of unit, CGS, MKS and SI. Here in the table, instead of SI I have used BTU, that is British Thermal Unit. So for solid and liquid fuels, units are same. In case of gaseous fuel, the unit is different. Normally we use CGS system. So the unit of solid and liquid fuel is calories per gram, and in case of gaseous fuel it is calories per centimeter cube. So next point will be the types of CV. So we have two types of CVs, gross calorific value or higher calorific value, and second type will be lower or net calorific value, that is NCV or LCV. Here the two types of CVs are obtained due to the reaction conditions. Here first we will discuss about the gross calorific value, that is GCV. We know that fossil fuel contain carbon and hydrogen as a major elements. After the combustion, carbon get converted into carbon dioxide and hydrogen get converted into hydrogen H2O, that is H2, water vapors. So instead of water we get water vapors because combustion reactions are exothermic reactions. The reactions takes place at high temperature. So instead of water we get water vapors. So GCV is related to the water vapors and carbon dioxide because these are the main products of combustion. If we cool this product, then whatever is the water vapors present in product get converted into water. So the conversion of water vapor into water is called as condensation. At the time of condensation, heat will be produced, and that heat is called as latent heat of condensation. So the value of latent heat of condensation is 587 calories per gram. So this is the extra heat liberated at the time of combustion. So that heat get added into the total heat content of fuel sample. So we get extra heat, hence calorific value is called as gross calorific value or higher calorific value. Obviously it is a theoretical value of fuel. Practically we get NCV, that is lower calorific value or net calorific value. So how we can define the gross calorific value? It is the total heat content of fuel or the total amount of heat produced after the complete combustion of fuel sample, and if we cool the products of combustion at room temperature, that or at 15 degrees Celsius. Okay, so here at room temperature or at 15 degrees Celsius, the conversion of water vapors into water takes place. So this is condensation reaction, and due to the condensation we get latent heat of water. Along with water vapors and carbon dioxide, we also get sulfur containing gases, nitrogen containing gases. The condensation of the gases is not possible at room temperature. So the extra heat produced at the time of combustion is only due to the condensation of water vapors into water. If we cool the products of combustion, carbon dioxide and water vapor at room temperature, then we get extra heat, that is latent heat of condensation, and the value of latent heat of condensation is 587 calories per gram. So here in the case we get excess or we get extra heat content, hence CV is called as gross calorific value. It is the theoretical value of fuel. Practically we get NCV, that is net calorific value or lower calorific value. And the condition is changed. Here in GCV we cool the products of combustion at room temperature, that is at 15 degrees Celsius. But here in case of NCV, the products of combustions are escaped into the atmosphere, and practically we get NCV. So this is the practical value of fuel sample. So here total quantity of heat produced practically after complete combustion of fuel sample and products of combustion are allowed to escape into the atmosphere. So here only two products are there, carbon dioxide and water vapors. If we allow these products into the atmosphere, then we get only heat content, that is heat produced due to the combustion. Here in the case the condensation reaction does not take place, so there is no need to add latent heat of combustion because products are going into the atmosphere. And practically we do this experiment, we can find out exact content of fuel sample, and that heat content is called as NCV or NCV or LCV. So this is about the lower calorific value or net calorific value. For any type of fuel sample, we can calculate GCV. Once we know the GCV, we can find out NCV. So this is about the today's session. Okay. Thank you so much for watching my video.